means that tree is probably, as a white oak, is 220 years old. My tree provides shade and beauty for everyone, and stormwater management when we get down to the science of it. But I have to be a guardian of that tree if it's going to be there. My name is Dolores Bushong, and I'm a volunteer with Casey Trees. I've done a lot of things with Casey Trees, but the most important thing that I do is to advocate for trees by providing written testimony and even going to testify in front of the City Council. The most important one probably that I've testified at has been the amendment to change the size, the circumference that would be allowed to be cut down in DC.
The Urban Forest Preservation Act of 2002, Chairman Mendelson passed that, and it set an initial goal of a tree canopy objective, but also tried to protect our trees by saying that trees of a certain circumference could not be taken down unless by special permit. It put on the table for the first time the idea that, this is collectively owned and we're all part of it. And so that was really, really important beginning legislation.
We introduced an amendment because we knew that it was time to update the laws, and we were really trying to address the shortcoming we were seeing and that we would still lose too many trees.
If we don't preserve these younger trees, they'll never get to be old. That's an important concept to get across to our leaders who are making all of the rules about trees in DC.
No matter how many trees you plant, the reality is if you're taking down an old mature tree, I'm never going to see it.
The amendment was to enhance what we had done before, to make trees of smaller sizes also subject to the law, and also to say some trees that were of a particularly large size couldn't be taken down at all. These heritage trees, as we're calling them.
So the amendment really came from looking at the special significance of these beautiful, majestic, older, mature trees, and knowing that we could do better.
It was important to create this heritage tree category because there are certain old trees that are really irreplaceable.
The first time there was a heritage tree designated in the district was in 2015, and it just so happens that I have one in my yard. And so I'm very proud of it. I've always loved it, but now it's really special because it's a heritage tree. And as that, it gets special protection.
I will probably never forget the hearing that we had on this. We had so many advocates and neighbors who came out, everything from trying to wrap their arms around and show us how big the diameter of a trunk was, to just telling really personal and impassioned stories about what a tree on their block or in their community meant to them. That's the type of powerful testimony and powerful story that gets told at the council that does have a very significant impact in the way in which we act and the way in which we make decisions.
We can't do this job alone. We need all of you. We need Casey Trees. We need all of the advocates to come forward and say, yes, we really must have this.
Perhaps nothing is more important than really convincing the leaders in our city to protect our trees. When I wrote my testimony, one of the things that I noticed is when I first wrote it, I said, my white oak tree. And then I thought of that and I realized it's not my white oak tree. I am a guardian for that tree. So that's why I choose to advocate for trees in any way that I can. I believe it helped, and I think it made a difference by having individuals come and testify on behalf of trees, because they cannot speak for themselves. So if you like them, you need to speak up for them.